ABC Yoga. We've got some more people joining in. Cookie from the road, fantastic. So we're going to start in child's pose. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm going to mute you all. Thank you. Okay. So child's pose. Knees separated, big toes touching. Extend your arms out in front of you. While you all set up in child's pose, I'm going to start with a quote this morning.
Wow.
Going to mix it up.
Wow. Shalabhasana
So,
next.
How do you love yourself well? By making your well-being and healing a top priority. Have the courage to create boundaries that will support your flourishing. Listen closely to your intuition. Respect your need for rest and connect with people who are emotionally mature. Being intentional with your life is loving yourself well. And one way we love ourselves well is by giving yourself this gift of your yoga practice. So in your child's pose here, begin to spread your fingers wide. This class is all about core this morning. So beginning by engaging our core, let's spread our fingers wide and lift our forearms off the mat. Your belly's soft, but you're engaging those arm muscles. Energetically, can you draw your shoulders back into the sockets? Just begin to find your breath here. Settling in. Swallow a few times. Let's take another full breath in. Let it go. And we're going to transition onto our bellies. So just shifting forward. Tops of your feet root. And just draw your forehead to the floor. Hands are in line with your chest. We're going to squeeze those elbows into that center line in towards the back of your body. And let's just lift our chest. So warming up our lower back this morning. On an exhalation, forehead to the floor. We're going to take 4 more like this. Just warming up that lower spine. With an inhale, we lift our chest, elbows squeeze in. Exhale, forehead down. 2 more like that. We breathe in, we lift our chest. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Last one like this, we lift. And forehead to the floor. So adding a little more movement. Similar situation, it's a combination of a baby cobra and Shalabhasana, but we're going to lift our hands off. So the lower body is rooted, tops of the feet are connected. On an inhale, maybe just lift your hands a couple of inches. Beautiful. Exhale, forehead down. We'll take 4 more like that. We breathe in and lift. Just look forward. Exhale, down. Last 3, we lift. We're breathing. Exhale, down. Last 2. Forehead to the earth. And last one, we lift. And forehead down. So lifting your head, let's find our way into Sphinx Posture. So forearms are rooted, opening up our head and neck. So just lift your eyes up towards the sky, soften your throat, and then draw your chin towards your chest. Again, we'll lift our eyes high, chin towards your chest. 3 more like that. Big breath in. Exhale, chin towards your chest. For 2 more, we're breathing, letting go. Last one, eyes high, throat soft, chin towards your chest. Then just bring your head to neutral. So now we'll gaze over that right shoulder. So try not to move your body, just take your head back to center, moving your head towards the left, back to center, to the right, center, left, center. One more each side. We look to the right, back to center, and to our left. Back to center. So in Sphinx pose, we're going to curl our toes under, and we're going to find our way with our sits bones lifted. Again, this is a class all about core. So on inhale, we're going to lift our hips and then just come right back down. So using those forearms, again, tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift your bottom. Exhale to the earth. 9 more. We breathe in and lift. And body down. All count, just move with your breath. Last 6, 5, last 4, stay with it, beautiful, 3, last 2, and 1. Lift those sits bones, bring your body down. We've warmed up for our forearm plank. So elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Again, we'll tuck our toes under, lift your body into that forearm plank. Notice if your bottom is high, you want that beautiful line of energy from your heels out through the crown of the head. Warming up the body, connecting with that breath for 3, for 2, and on 1. Let it go. Let's release our hands alongside the body. Just take your left ear to the floor. Take a quick body scan from the crown of the head, weave back and forth. Let go of any holding in the body. And we'll take the opposite ear to the mat. And we'll come back to neutral, hands in line with our chest. We tuck our toes under again. We press through high plank, downward dog on the exhalation. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So a deep bend in that left knee, right heel draws to the earth. Shake out that head. Then we take a bend in that right knee, left heel down. And then begin to pedal out those feet. Toes are spread wide. Straightening through those arms. And keep your hands where they are. We'll just walk our feet back to the heel of our hands. Heel toe those feet together. We'll find that halfway lift. Beautiful long spine. Soften the knees on the exhalation, Uttanasana. 3 more like that. Reach your heart forward. Connecting with that breath. Exhale, soften and let go. Last 2, navel is engaged, in and up towards our spine. Exhale, crown of the head towards the floor. Last 1, find that halfway lift. Exhale, we soften. Now ride the breath all the way up. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. We bring our prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. Pause and breathe here. Eyes softer closed. So we set our dedication or intention for our practice this morning. Let's flutter our eyelids open. Release your hands alongside the body, and we'll take a big breath in. And forward fold, Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift. Please step or jump those feet back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale, eyes towards the back of the mat. Keep your hands where they are. We're going to walk our feet back towards the heel of our hands. Find that halfway lift. Step the right leg back, right knee to the earth. Anjaneyasana, arms reach up overhead. So melt into those hips. We'll release our hands to the floor. Now draw your hips back, flex those left toes. That right foot can be tucked under, or maybe for more stability, reach the shin into the earth. So notice if that right hip is reaching forward, you want to draw it back. Flex those left toes a little further. Let's take one more breath in. On an exhalation, we bend that left knee, tuck the right toes under, and just step up towards the right foot to the left foot. We find that halfway lift again. This time we step the left leg back. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms reach up overhead. So melt into those hips, maybe open that chest a little further by taking your hands further away from your ears. Beautiful. We'll release our hands to the mat, draw the hips back, flex the right toes. Lengthen over that right leg. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Take another full breath in. Beautiful. On an exhalation, we bend that left knee. Right knee, excuse me, we step that left foot to the right. We find that halfway lift, fold forward, Uttanasana, and inhale, rise. Come all the way up, and hands to heart center as we fold forward. Working on Sun Salutation C, we find that halfway lift, step the right knee back, and lift your arms up. And hands release to the floor. We step that left leg back, high plank to low plank. A cobra or up dog. Beautiful. Downward dog, exhale. Now the right leg lifts. We step it forward into that low lunge. Arms reach up high. We release our hands down. Step the left foot to the right. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise. Heart is lifted. Beautiful. And forward fold, Uttanasana. Taking the other side, we find that halfway lift. Step the left knee back and reach the arms up high. And we release our hands to the floor, right leg back, high plank to low plank. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog, exhale. Left leg lifts. We find that low lunge. Right knee to the earth, arms reach up high. And release them to the floor. Step the right leg to the left. Halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Ride that breath all the way up to standing. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. And hands to heart center as we fold. Beautiful. Connecting with that breath, we find that halfway lift again. Step the right leg back, low lunge. Arms reach up high. Melt through the heart. Hands release to the mat. Left leg back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog, exhale. Right leg lifts. We find that low lunge again. Arms reach up high and release the hands to the mat. Step the left leg to the right. Halfway lift and fold forward on the exhalation. On the inhale, we rise, lines of energy out through the fingertips and forward fold, hands to heart center. Left side, halfway lift. We step that left knee back and reach the arms up overhead. Hands release, right leg back, high plank to low plank. Beautiful. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Lift the left leg high. We find that low lunge again. Arms reach up high. And we release the hands. Step the right leg to the left. Halfway lift, forward fold, and rise. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Hands to heart center. Last Sun Salutation C. So we find that halfway lift, right knee back. Anjaneyasana, arms reach up high. Release the hands, left leg back. We're getting so strong, high to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Right leg lifts. Step it forward. Arms reach up overhead. Release the hands to the floor. Left leg to the right. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise. And hands through heart center. Forward fold. Last side, we find that halfway lift. Left knee back. Arms reach up overhead. Beautiful. Release the hands to the floor. Step the right leg back. High plank to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Left leg lifts. We find that low lunge again. Arms reach up high. Release the hands to the floor. Step the right foot to the left. Halfway lift. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Now sit into your chair pose. Drop those hips. Reach the arms up overhead. Spin those pinkies in. Tail tucks under, weight more into the heels, and squeeze those thighs together. So straightening through those arms. Can you sit a little deeper into those hips? One more breath in. On an exhale, hands through heart center as we fold forward. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale, and then just drop your knees to the mat. We'll sit in rock pose for a moment. I'll just demonstrate something. One more pose to activate our core this morning. So from rock pose, you'll take your hands in front of you. We're going to do it 10 times, and there's two options here. First option is, and both are engaging the core. First option is just lifting the knees. Just taking those knees off the mat, finding that connection with the core. What I'd like to explore, though, is you're going to take those knees off the mat, kick the right toe to the right ankle, and then come back down. Then we lift those hips, kick that left foot to the left wrist, and draw the knees down. So again, if that is challenging, we're just going to stick with those knees. You're opening up your feet, finding that core. So when you're ready, we lift those hips, kick the toes towards that right wrist, and down. I'm counting, you're breathing. Just taking those knees off the floor, or try kicking the toes towards the wrist in front of it. We're halfway there. Breathing, maybe touch the wrist or even go a little higher on the arm. Last 4. Beautiful. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Maybe kick that wrist, sit back down, pause and breathe. Let's just give our wrists a little bit of break, rotating them in. So let's turn our palms towards our chest. We take the back of the hands towards one another, fingers towards the earth, and rotate them around. So open up the palms, roll to the back of the hands, down and around. Hands open, back of the hands, and down. Last one, we open up our palms, back of the hands, fingers towards the earth, and to our prayer. Just shake that all out, and we'll find downward dog. I'm short of breath. That was hard work. So downward dog, pedal out the feet, shake out that head, steady breathing. I'm gonna lift that right leg high, bending the knee, stacking that hip. Now straighten that right leg and step it forward into warrior 2. Arms reach up and over. So dropping a little further into those hips, make sure that right knee is tracking directly over the right toes. So now we're going to interlace our hands behind our head, elbows wide. That left foot is your anchor. So we'll take that right elbow towards the knee, back to center. We're breathing, opening up those side bodies, maybe finding that connection or just find that area of resistance. We're still breathing. Last 5. I'm concentrating on that core. Last 3, 2, and last 1, elbow towards your knees. Come back to center. Just open up those arms, finding that warrior 2 again. Sit a little deeper. Let's open up those shoulders, palms towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulders where they are and just turn the palms down. 3 more. We open and rotate and release down. Last 2. And last 1. Rotate. Keep that right hand where it is, and we'll just reverse our warrior. So I'm going to snake that left hand behind my back, maybe find that right hip crease. Lots of sensations in that right thigh. 1 more breath in. On an exhale, warrior 2, and then your vinyasa. Right leg back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale, eyes towards the back of the mat. I'm just going to turn this way so we can take the other side. So lift the left leg high, bend the knee and stack the hip. So making sure the chest is parallel to the floor. Let's yawn that left knee a little higher. Then we extend that left leg and step it forward into warrior 2. Arms swing up and around. Drop into those hips. We pull the shoulders away from your ears. Hug the muscles to the bones. Make sure that left knee is tracking directly over the left toes. We take our hands behind our head again, other side. So left elbow towards your left knee. Come back to center. We're breathing. Finding that anchor with that right foot. Maybe you can drop those hips a little deeper and explore. So we're halfway there. Last 4. Working on our core. 3. Last 2. Imagine that elbow touching the knee. Back up to center. We extend our arms. Drop those hips a little deeper. Open up that knee. Now we'll rotate those palms up again. So hug those muscles to the bones. We turn the palms down. You want to keep that external rotation in the shoulders. And just take the palms back to the earth. 2 more. Rotate around. Beautiful. And hands down. Last time, we find that beautiful rotation. Now reverse your warrior. Maybe snake that right hand into that left hip crease. Drop into the hips. Open up that left side body. Can you go a little deeper? Beautiful. We find our way back into warrior 2. Your vinyasa. Hands to the mat. High to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. Steady breathing. Swallow a few times. Shake out that head. You can walk those toes into a center line. We'll extend that right leg up towards the sky. So we're in that 3-legged downward dog. We'll take that right knee towards the right tricep. Maybe touch it and extend. All about core this morning. We squeeze knee to elbow or tricep and extend. We're breathing and extending. 2 more like this. Knee to tricep and back. Last 1. Knee to tricep. We lift. Now take the knee to the center and we kick it out into that drunken triangle, fallen triangle. Weight into the right hand, left hand reaches high. So lift your hips here. So we have some dips here, or you can stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, hips down, and we lift. Using that core, just 5 of them. Hips lift, down, last 3, down, 2, bottom down. We lift, hands to the floor, right leg up, and just shake it out, downward dog. Last side. So maybe give your wrists a little break, shake out that head, walk those toes into the center line. We extend that left leg high, and then we draw the knee towards that tricep or elbow and lift. We breathe and squeeze and extend. Left knee towards that tricep. We lengthen. 2 more. Knee in, leg extends. Last one, maybe touch that elbow or tricep and extend. Then we take that knee forward and shoot it out into that drunken or fallen triangle on the other side. So weight into that left hand. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Just stay here supported, or we lower the hips down and we lift for 4. Lift, lower, last 2, and last one, hips down. We lift, watch that right hand as it comes to the mat, left leg lifts high, shake it out, and let's find a child's pose again. Nice work, big toes touch, hips are heavy. Let's walk our elbows in slightly. Fingers spread wide, just pause and breathe here. Noticing that life force energy, the prana, circulating through the body. We're opening up the energy channels, clearing away stagnant energy, holdings in the body. Finding our breath. Maybe lick your lips, swallow. And gently move the forehead side to side. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Slowing everything down. Last full inhale. Complete that exhalation. We spread our fingers wide. Come onto our hands and knees. Toes tuck under. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. We walk those toes into the center line again. Please lift that right leg high and just step it forward into a high lunge and come all the way up. Drop into those hips. So one more time, we're going to interlace our hands behind our head, and this is a humble warrior crunch. So we're still in that high lunge. You can modify if you have less energy this morning by dropping that left knee to the earth. But elbows spread wide. We're just going to draw our forehead towards our knee and lift. 4 more. We're breathing, just shifting the energy, allowing the body to find its balance when we do these different postures. 2 more. Bending your forehead towards your knee. We lift. Last one. Forehead to the knee. We lift. Now extend those arms. Weight into that right foot. We're going to take that left thigh up and over to eagle legs and take the left elbow underneath. Sit tall. So this is going to work on our balance. You know what we're going to do now? Elbows towards the knee. So if you fall out of it, we just come back in. We only have 5. So elbows to the knee and we lift. We're breathing and squeezing and lifting. 3 more. Elbows to the knee. If you fall out, just come back in. Last 2. And last one. Elbow to the knee. We lift. Beautiful. Release everything. Arms reach up high. Samastitihi, hands to heart center. Just pause and breathe here. between sides. Feel that groundedness of your feet, toes spread wide, connecting with that breath. Swallow a few times. We'll flutter our eyelids open, release hands alongside the body. Full breath in, arms reach up high. Hands to heart center as we fold forward. We find that halfway lift. Please step or jump those feet back, high plank to low plank, a cobra or upward dog, downward dog, exhale. Walk those toes into a center line. Extend that left leg high and step it forward into that high lunge. Come all the way up. So if your balance is compromised here, take a wider stance with that back leg. Gives you a wider boundary space so that your balance is less precarious. We'll take our arms up overhead and interlace our hands behind our head. So maybe this is where you stay. Otherwise, we find that humble warrior crunch. So imagine that forehead coming towards your knees and lifting. That left foot is rooting you. We're breathing and squeezing. Eyes high. 3 more. We find that crunch and we lift. Last 2. Eyes high. And last 1. Find that crunch. Forehead towards your knees. We lift and extend those arms overhead. Weight into that left foot. Pivoting off that back leg. We're finding eagle, right thigh up and over, and right elbow under. So sitting tall, squeeze those thighs together. Melt those shoulders. Now we draw those elbows towards your knees, or just stay where you are. And we lift. Squeezing, imagine that strong core. You're activating that navel in and up towards your spine. 3 more with control, elbows towards your knees, and we lift. Last 2, we're breathing. Beautiful, last 1, elbow towards your knee, and we lift, unwrap, and bring your hands to your heart center, Samastitihi. Pause and breathe. Slow everything down. Remembering that prayer or intention we made at the beginning of class. Let's flutter our eyelids open. Our body's nice and warm, so we'll take a dancer before we move to the floor. So right elbow, right hip. Left arm extends. Bend the right knee, catch the inner arch of the foot, and hug those knees together. So looking straight ahead, start with the kicking action of the foot. So toes towards the back of your space. The chest will come into the posture, keeping those fingers in line with your forehead. Maybe soften that left knee, kicking and reaching for 3 more breaths. Just do what you can. Last full breath in. Then ride that breath all the way up. Release. Take your hands to your heart center. Pause and breathe. Last side. So finding our dancer. Left elbow, left hip. Right hand reaches high. We bend that left knee. Catch the inner arch of the foot. Hug those knees together. Again, this is a great posture to, if your balance is challenged this morning, just stay right here or use a wall. Otherwise, start with the kicking action. Toes up and towards the back of your space. The chest will come into the posture. Take those fingers in line with your eyebrows. Kicking and reaching. Last 3, 2, and on 1, we ride that breath all the way up. Hands to heart center. Let's wipe the slate clean. Big breath in and melt forward, Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale, and walk your hands back towards your toes. Split those feet hips distance apart, and let's sit into our Malasana. So toes in that 45-degree angle, heels may or may not be connected to the floor. We bring our hands to our heart. Pause and breathe. You can close your eyes. Quieting the body by lengthening your inhalation and exhalation. 2 more breaths. We take a final full inhale. Complete the exhalation. And just release the hands. Can come all the way down. Extend those legs. And we'll hug our knees into our chest. Cactus your hands out to the side. We'll drop our knees to the right. Shift your gaze over that left shoulder. Notice if both shoulders are connected to the floor. If that left shoulder begins to lift up, see if you can energetically encourage it down towards the earth. Feel that support. Relax your jaw. Soften the root of the tongue. We'll draw our knees back to center, and please take them in the opposite direction. So maybe your knees just come halfway down. You can always use the brick, supporting them. Again, we want the body to open breath by breath. We're not struggling here or forcing the body ever. So part of our yoga practice is being our own teacher. I'm guiding you through class, but you are your teacher. You're in charge of you. So listening to your body, protecting it. Nice. Let's bring our knees back to center, and we'll extend our toes up towards the sky. So we're going to reach our fingers towards our toes, working on some ab work here. So all of the movement is fluid. So we're just going to reach our fingers towards our toes. Breathing here, again, activating that core. Shoulders off the floor. We have 10 more. So maybe you can touch those toes, straightening through the legs to the best of your ability. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees. So if you have a brick, we've done this posture before. Bill has the lighter brick this morning. We're going to take the brick in between our ankles, and we're going to transfer the brick again. You can do this if you don't have a brick. By all means, you can just do this without the brick. Always an option to use maybe a shoebox or a book. So we'll start by hovering the legs a couple of inches above the earth. On an inhale, hands take the brick overhead, heels down. Inhale, you're transferring the brick and slowly lowering. Taking your time. Again, if this is challenging with the brick, just remove the brick. Brick overhead. Last 3. All about the core today. Heels down. Last 2. And last transfer here. Heels down. And I'll just take that brick and put it to the side. Hug those knees in. Lick your lips. And one last core posture this morning. So we'll extend those legs up again. You can support, well, actually, let's take our hands out into a T position. So this is a TikTok ab workout. So do what you can. You can always take this with bent knees, but my toes are flexed. I'm just taking my toes towards the right side of the body, tick-tocking back to center. Then I'm taking them in the opposite direction, working on the obliques here. If this is challenging, bend your knees, straightening the legs, just tick-tocking side to side. Your arms are supporting you. Listen to your body. 2 more each side. Toes towards the left. Last time. Toes towards the right. Back to center. Toes to the left. Back to center. Hug those knees in. Give yourself another big hug. And we'll draw our forehead towards our knees. Shoulders pull away from your ears. Stretch out the back of the neck. And head and shoulders back on the floor. Let's warm up let's just release that lower back. Hands on our knees, little circles in one direction. Beautiful. And we'll change direction. Nice. And now let's take that right ankle on the left knee. Hug that left knee in, interlacing below the knee or underneath the thigh. Both feet are flexed. We draw that left knee in till we hit that resistance. Back up a little bit. Swallow. Enjoy that breath. And after a few breaths, we can squeeze that knee in a little closer. Face is soft, breath is steady. Let's draw that left knee in 1 more inch. And we'll release both feet to the floor, setting up for our first bridge this morning. So feet are parallel, fingers brush the back of our heels. Let's spin our palms up towards the sky. Knitting, rooting those shoulders into the earth. Looking up towards the ceiling, let's just peel those hips off the mat. Walk those shoulders in. You can support underneath your hips. We're going to weight that right foot, an option to lift that right leg up towards the sky. Breathing here. You can lower that right leg down. And inhale that left leg up. And we'll lower that heel down. Back body to the floor. Allow those knees to kiss. Walk your feet out the width of the mat. Let's take both hands on the belly. Pause and breathe here. Slowing everything down. We'll flutter our eyelids open. Open up the knees. And we'll take the other side. So left ankle on the right knee. Interlace below the kneecap or the thigh. Flex both feet and draw that right knee in towards your chest. So feeling that deep opening on the outer left hip. And after a few breaths, maybe draw that right knee a little closer in. Feet are flexed to protect the knees. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. So what's happening with your face? Can you soften your face? The lines on your forehead, the cheekbones, the inner ears. Draw that right knee in 1 more inch. Beautiful. And then we'll release, finding our second bridge this morning. So walk those heels in, feet are parallel. We spin the palms up towards the sky, peel those hips off the earth, walk those shoulders in, maybe interlace those fingers, pressing the forearms towards the earth. So opening those toes wide, we're just lift those heels high, keep the hips where they are, and then just draw the heels down. And we lift the heels up and down, working on our calves, opening up the arches of the feet, heels down. Last two, heels down. Last one, heels lift, heels down, release the hands, unwind the spine. Walk the knees out the width of your mat, allow those knees to kiss, and we bring our hands to our heart center. Pause and breathe. Clean your teeth with your tongue. Then move your head side to side. And last, bridge or full wheel. So full wheel people go right up to it, go right into it. I'm going to stick with bridge this morning. So our feet are parallel again. We turn our palms up, pinning those shoulders to the mat, lifting those hips up, walk those shoulders underneath. Notice if you always take that same habitual grasp or clasp with the hands, put the uncomfortable thumb on top, forearms pressed to the floor. We lift those hips a little higher, chin towards your chest. 5 more breaths here. So maybe root your heels if you're in bridge and just lift those toes off the mat. Lifting those toes, just activating different muscles in the feet and the legs. If you're in full Dhanurasana, we have 2 more breaths here. Everyone, last full inhale. Complete the exhale, chin in, unwind the spine slowly. And we find Superbadaknasana, soles of the feet together, a hand on our belly, a hand on our heart. Soften or close your eyes. Slowing everything down. Let's take 1 more breath. Complete that exhalation. Flutter your eyelids open, hands outside your knees. Squeeze those knees in, hands behind your knees, and we rock our spine. 3 or 4 rocks. To staff pose. So hands in line with your hips. Flex those feet. Engage those muscles. And we'll take that right foot in the inner left thigh. Rooting those sits bones. Flex the left toes. Inhale the arms up overhead. Imagine that belly button's coming towards that left thigh. We reach forward. Again, you can use a strap. Find your ankle, your heel. Softening those shoulders away from your ears. Lengthening through the back of your neck. Let's take 1 more breath in here. Complete that exhalation. Inhale, ride the breath up. And now we'll take that heel to the outer left hip point. So you're in that half lotus. Both sits bones root. Arms reach up overhead. Full breath in. And lengthen over that left leg again. You can bend that left knee as much as you need to. Soften those shoulders. Left toes are flexed. Steady breathing. We take 1 more inhale. Complete that exhalation. Inhale, lift your heart. And now we'll take that right heel in that left elbow crease. So walk, just opening up that hip joint. Just rocking our baby here. Now take that right foot outside the left knee, and we'll bend that left knee, drawing that left heel towards that right sits bones. Right hand supports behind you, left hand reaches high. Big breath in, And take that left elbow outside the right knee. And we shift our eye gaze towards the side of your mat. Spread those left fingers wide. Your right foot is rooted. Full breath in, we find that length, and then a gentle twist over that right shoulder. Moving from those lower abs, full inhale. We lengthen, soften, and twist on the exhale. Breathe in and twist. Let's take one more full inhale and twist. Come back through neutral. We'll find a counter twist in the opposite direction. And back to center. Unwind those legs. Shake it out. Flex those toes. Finding staff pose again. Hands in line with your hips. We engage those leg muscles. Flex those feet. Flex those toes. And we'll come to the other side. So left foot in the inner right thigh. Both sits bones root. We reach our arms up overhead. Imagine that belly button coming towards that right thigh as we extend. Always an option to use a strap, hanging onto the heel, the ankle. Slow down the breath. Equal inhalation as your exhalation. Can you find that connection of the left foot and the inner right thigh? You want to see if you can press them against one another. Activating that core. Let's take one more breath in. Let it go. And lift our hearts. Now we'll take that heel on that right hip crease point. That left knee opens to gravity. Both sits bones root. Full breath in. Arms reach up high. And we forward fold. Softening that right knee as much as you need to. Again, a great time to use a strap or a hand towel. Relax your face. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Two more breaths here. And inhale, we lift our hearts. Now we take that left heel into that right elbow crease. You can wrap those arms around and we lubricate that hip joint, just rocking our baby, flexing that left foot. And then we take that left foot on the outside of the right knee. So you can keep that right leg straight or bend that right knee, draw the right heel into the sits bones. Both sits bones are rooted. This is a great posture right here. We extend the right hand high, left hand supports you. Now draw that elbow outside the left knee. From our lower abs, we twist. So spread the fingers wide, lines of energy out through those hands. Inhale, we lift our hearts. On an exhale, we twist. We're breathing and lengthening, softening on the exhalation. Two more breath in, and we twist. Last full inhale. And we twist. Come back through center. We find that counter twist. And unwind those legs, shake them out, and we'll find a straddle position this morning. Flex the feet. I take an internal rotation in my thighs. Hands can support you. You can bend those knees as much as you need to, and we'll walk our hands forward. Soften the shoulders. Let's start walking to the left leg. And using the peace fingers on the left big toe, melt that elbow down towards the earth. Stay supported here, or maybe take that right hand up and over. Notice if that right sits bones is lifting on the floor, you can encourage it with your hand. Feeling that gorgeous stretch on the right side of the body. And then we'll walk our hands through center. Straddle that right leg. Right peace fingers around that right big toe. Draw that elbow down. Stay supported here. Maybe encourage that left sits bones down and take that left arm up and over. Finding that breath. And we'll come back to center. So all of this core work, we've got our yogi quiz here. So maybe walk your feet in a little closer. Left hand in front of you, right hand behind you. We're going to try to blast off. You fake it till you make it. So you can just lift those heels, you can engage those heels and just lift your bottom off the floor, or take both hands to the floor, blast off. Lower down, and we'll change sides. Right hand in front, left hand behind. So maybe just lift the bottom up or engage those palms, everything off the mat. Beautiful, hips down. Let's draw those heels in. Reach those arms out in front of you, and let's slowly unwind that spine. Take your time. Head and shoulders to the floor. Let's bend our knees one last time, finding our happy baby this morning. Reach for the inner arches of the feet. Knees are heavy. Feet are flexed, energetically reaching up towards the ceiling. You can rock that back body. Relax the face. An option to splay those legs into one more straddle position, breathing into those inner groins. And we'll draw our heels and our feet together, hands supporting on your ankles. Just allow those heels to draw towards your inner groins. You can use those elbows to open up the knees. And then slowly extend the legs. Take up a lot of space on your mat, palms up towards the sky. Slow down your breath and let go. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And stretch your arms up overhead. Full breath in. Gentle sigh it out. And together, let's take one more full breath in. Gentle exhale. And hugging those knees in, slowly find your way to a comfortable seated position. Bringing your hands to your heart center, bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for a beautiful class this morning, and namaste. Thanks, everyone.
Very nice.
Have a beautiful weekend. Let me know how that core workout, if it worked for